Hey, welcome back. Sean here. This is going to be a different will it run than what we normally do with tractors and old lawnmowers. We got a couple vintage John Deere Trailfire 340 snowmobiles here. One of them's a part sled and one of these did run. It's probably been about 8 years since the one good one did run. So we're going to get this all uncovered here and see if we can get this thing running. Let me get this uncovered here and show you what we got. This Trailfire 340 here is a 1981, and the part sled over there is a 1979. Now, I got these, I picked these up in 2017, and I was told this would run, and that was just a part sled. So I've actually had these since I lived at my other place, and they've basically come over here and been sitting on the trailer like this since 2017. So I thought, well, since it's getting closer to winter, and we're going to see about getting this one up and running, because I was going to sell this one right here. So, well, go ahead and get the tractor and we'll pull this thing around up to the shop and get these things off the trailer. Okay, well, we got these guys off the trailers here. This is the 81 to 79. So first thing I want to do here is I'll get you guys over here and give you a closer look at these two vintage John Deere sleds, and we'll dive into and see. This is the one we're going to try to get running. This is the 81. Oh no, they're not in too bad a shape. This 81 is definitely in better shape, the both of them. I do have the seat inside the barn, but it needs to be recovered. These are just a little 340 Kawasaki engine, twin cylinder. This is a fan. So this kind of concerns me right off the bat. I see the gas cap right here. The plastic's popped off. Well, it doesn't look like there's water that got down inside there. That's a good thing. But still, the best thing I think I'm going to start with doing is making sure. Well, how about that? The hose is rotted right off the gas tank, which is good. So that would mean that's real bad if you get water inside these carburetors, especially being on a 2-cycle engine. We'll go and look at the 79. This one has a speedometer in it, so that's kind of cool. This was a part sled, still the same, a little 340 Kawasaki engine. But I got everything I need here to get the 81 up and running so I can sell it. Now, let's see if this pulls over. It's not locked up, so that's a good sign. The 81. Well, it kind of pulls hard. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get those spark plugs out of it, and we're going to get some Marvel's mystery oil, get soaking down in there before we even try to pop this thing off. Go through and pull these out. Not even going to try hitting ether on these. You know, this sitting for 8 years. That's a good way to smoke a cylinder on one of these. Hitting ether, it is because there's no lubrication in ether. Very little, if at all. Let's see. Plugs are wet. Take and pull that over and see if anything shoots out of there. Well, That's good. That means no water got in the cylinder. Because I believe, I'm not 100% positive on these, but I believe these 340s were a piston port engine. So yeah, I'm okay when we get this thing started up if it smokes like a banshee. Oh yeah. Once get this thing running with some oil and some heat in it, those rings should pop back on it if they're stuck. Wow. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but that was a oil geyser right there, wasn't it? I'll pull that over a little slower. That was kind of cool actually seeing that. Oh yeah. I'm just lightly pulling this over right now and it's getting more free. All right, beautiful. All right. All right, next thing I want to do, see if the throttle is free. Wow, I don't believe it, the throttle isn't stuck. Usually the slide, this is an older Mikuni carburetor, sometimes those get froze up in there. But hey, that's, I will definitely take that. That one's free. Well, I suppose the next thing we should do is put some spark plug testers on here and pray we got spark. Hopefully it does. It does have a spark. It's going to be kind of hard to see it out here in the daylight. I'll pull it over here again. Maybe you can see those plugs light up. There we go. You can see we got spark. So that's a good sign on this part. So I'll go ahead and we'll put these plugs back in here. And well, we're going to have to take a look at the fuel system. I probably should take and pull the carburetor off this and clean that out, make sure there's no gunk in it, and make sure the float's not going to stick or hang up in it when we put fuel in it. Well, being we got spark now, you might be asking me, okay, Sean, why don't you just take and put a fuel line on there and dump some gas in it and see if she'll start up? Well, my reason for wanting to check the carburetor out on this is a two-stroke engine. A two-stroke engine is a little more sensitive than a four-stroke engine, being this is an oil and gas mixture, okay? And this is not an oil-injected engine too, not that it matters. But say, for example, there's something, a piece of dirt or something in there that's plugging that main jet up in the carburetor, and if I go fire this up and it's not getting the adequate oil and fuel mixture that it needs, it's going to force a lean condition. And a lean condition on a two-stroke, that's a surefire way to smoke a cylinder really quick on them. So, you know, it's a lot less time pulling the carburetor off of it and cleaning it, and as opposed to pulling the jug off the engine and taking the time honing it out and putting a new set of rings in it. Yeah, kind of weighing that out on a time aspect. Yeah, I'll do the carburetor. Go through and start pulling this carb off. Yeah, so those who've been following the channel know that I mostly work on lawn and garden applications and old farm tractors, but I did work on snowmobiles back in the day, and well, I still do sometimes, especially these old ones. And as you look at that slide right there, that's really in good condition on that, and no rust, so I'm definitely liking that. Needle looks good. Take a little bit of Scotch Brite to it. Take and pull this enrichener cable off of it. See, not only that, it's just, I just feel a lot better knowing this carburetor is clean before we fire this up. And as well, I want to take and flush that gas tank out of this really good. Hopefully the fuel pump on this thing is good. I have my reservations about that. I bet you the diaphragms in it are pretty doggone hard. See that enrichener. That one's a little sticky in there, so I might have to take and spray this down. So that might have a little bit of moisture down inside there. Pull our fuel line off. That fuel line is snapped right off there. It's so brittle. Go ahead and pull this out of the boot. Oh, that boot is really brittle on this thing too. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. Boot is on the brittle side. May have to replace this boot on here. We'll see once I get this carburetor off. Come on, baby, come off there. Ouch. Yep, that hurt a little bit. Ooh. Well, it looks like a little bit of water did get down inside there from what I'm seeing. But it might be okay. This carburetor loose, that enrichener is stuck in there. Oh yeah, that enrichener cable is froze up on it. So this is going to take me a little bit to get that loose in there. So once I get this off here, then I'll come back and we'll start taking this apart. Alright, I got that carburetor off. What I ended up doing is I had to take my little propane torch here and just warm this up a little bit inside this cavity in order to get that enrichener cable out of there. Just hit it with some of my liquid wrench here like so. Yeah, no problem. So let's go ahead and pop this bowl off this carburetor and see what it looks like inside there. What I'm going to do is I'll get this apart and I'll run this in my ultrasonic cleaner. Get this all cleaned up real good and we'll come back together. We'll get back together here and in another business day and put this back together. I'll do some more investigating on that boot on the carburetor, and if I have to see if I can get one of those, we'll replace that as well. But I'm pretty confident we'll get this engine running with minor difficulties. Now I want to be clear on this. It's been 8 years since I bought these sleds, and I was told they run, so I don't know 100% if these sleds run. Well, this was the one that supposedly run. I bought them sight unseen and never heard they were run, but you all know the story out there. They say they run, but once you get into them, you find out they don't. And sometimes it's a goat rodeo going through and getting them running again, right? We've been there. Wow, that is really on there. I go get my brass hammer. Alrighty. Oh my gosh. That's never good when you see whites. Oh no. Well, you know, guys, this don't look too good. Look at all that coming out of that carburetor. Golly. See, this is exactly why I just didn't put gas in it. Whew. Well, we got the carburetor on the other snowmobile over there. Maybe I better pull that one off and see about putting that one on. Holy cow. Nope, that's not good at all, is it, guys? Well, I'll go over and take a look at the other carburetor and see if that one's any better. Okay, now this is a carburetor that stuck off that 79 340, and I tell you what, I had to work a good 20 minutes just getting this enricher cable out of here. This was really seized in there, so I don't know, we'll go ahead and we'll pull this bowl off the bottom of it and pray that it's better than the one that was on this one, because you know, I'd rather use an original carburetor if possible. I really don't want to go with an aftermarket on one of these. I don't like aftermarket carburetors. It just seems like, you know, the quality of them is just not stellar. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have no other option, but it seems like a lot of times when I have to go an aftermarket carburetor, sometimes I might go through 2 or 3 of them before I get a good one, you know. But they are getting better, so, because unfortunately a lot of these OEM suppliers are not around anymore. You figured the last year for the John Deere Snowmobile was 1984, I believe, if I'm correct. Those been following my channel know that I got that 77 Cyclone 340. That's got a Hearth engine in it, if I'm not mistaken. No, not a Hearth. No, that's got a Winkle engine in it. That's something, I've got that sitting inside a trailer to help preserve that one. That's something I want to get up and running as well too. That's me good. Well, okay. I can work with this one. This one's better than the one that was on the 81. I'll come over and get you guys. We got something we can work with here. As you can see, it's got some sludge build up here, but it's definitely better, isn't it? So I'm gonna get this apart and get this in the ultrasonic cleaner and going, and we'll get this cleaned up really good. I'm going to have to make a bowl gasket for this, and we'll clean everything real good and put it on, and on to the next stage of this little project. So we got that carburetor cleaned up and got that put on here. Hopefully this is going to turn out and it's going to work on here. I honestly don't know, but we're going to find out soon enough. So the next problem I ran into is well, I'm going to take and replace the fuel lines on here. I mean, they are all, fuel lines are all this shot. And something else too, the grommet that was inside the gas tank, the hose here, this was falling off inside the gas tank. So I have to get another grommet to put down inside there and run a new hose down into the gas tank. And I took and I flushed this gas tank out, and that was just god awful dirty inside there. And we still got some gas soaking in there, because that's one thing with when you have pre-mixed fuel in there, it does leave oil residue. So I'm trying to get that cleaned out and washed out as much as I can, so it doesn't pick that fuel up and run through the carburetor. I mean, there ain't no sense running more garbage through our nice clean carburetor. So I'm still on the fence on this fuel pump down here. I would be amazingly surprised if that works. So what I'll do is I'll get some lines to put on here and see if I can push some fuel through there manually or not, and see if that's going to work out okay. I sincerely doubt it. Worst case scenario, probably what I could do to get this started is I could take all that is a pulse style fuel pump. I could probably take a Briggs & Stratton fuel pump and put on there for now to get it started. But well, I'll get some fuel lines and start running those and getting closer to start this thing and getting that grommet put back inside the gas tank down there. I also wanted to point out on here, I was questioning that boot on there earlier, and we took this carburetor off. I ended up coming over here to the 79, and I ended up taking the boot off of this one, and putting on there. So it's been nice having that other sled, you know, to rob Peter to pay Paul, and getting this one up and going. Well, it's been a couple days. We're back working on our Trailfire 340, getting this thing up and running again. I had to wait for some parts to come in. I got some new spark plugs. I'm going to replace the spark plugs in these. And as well, I got some Tygon fuel line to put on this, this 2-cycle fuel line. And as well, I had to get me the gas line that goes inside the gas tank. Your fuel line that goes inside the gas tank is going to be different from this stuff right here. If you do use this stuff and put it inside your gas tank, it's going to be short-lived, and you might get by with a season with it, but next time you get your sled out the next year to run it, you're going to find that this fuel line is broken right off the nipple inside the tank and falling off in the bottom, and hence that's why your sled will not pick up fuel and start. Been there, done that. So this is going to be the gas line that you want to get to put inside your gas tank. This is made by Helix Racing Products. I've used this stuff before. This is a good quality. And you even look at this fuel line as opposed to your Tygon. This is a very hard plastic fuel line. It's almost like the easiest way I can describe it, it kind of looks like PEX line, you know, in a way for your plumbing inside your house, but not the same thing, so don't try that. So I'm going to go ahead and start running fuel lines on this and get the spark plugs in it. And I got some fresh gas to put inside the gas tank. I had to spend more time cleaning all the gook and junk out of the inside of that tank, and that took about another half hour to get that good and clean where I was comfortable with it, putting fresh gas into it. And as well, I forgot to say, I also got a new fuel filter for it. So I'll put all this stuff on the lines and come back, and we'll see if this thing is going to fire up and run or not, or if I'm going to end up getting a fuel pump for this. Alright, we got our new fuel lines put on here. Filter all the way down to the fuel pump there and onto the carburetor. And also got our new grommet put inside the tank, and with a submersible fuel line down inside there. Some of you might be curious about exactly what is that fuel line I put inside the tank. At the end of this video, I'll put a comparison of that fuel line with just a regular Tygon fuel line. You'll see the difference in it. So, well, now we're now at the position we can start putting gas in this now. Also got the new spark plugs put in it. So now I'm going to start putting gas in it and start pulling this over, and hopefully this fuel pump down here is going to start drawing fuel down to the carburetor. And if that's not going to be a go, then I'm going to have to come up with a pump to put on this. I'm just putting some regular 50-to-1 mixed gasoline in this. I got 2 gallons of gas. That'll be more than enough for that pickup inside to pick up fuel. I tell you what, I honestly don't know if this is going to start, just because of that fuel pump. You know, this thing's been sitting for almost 10 years. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that pump right now, you know what I mean? But we'll see what happens here. I'm going to start the pull process on this and cross our fingers it's going to pick up fuel. It's not hard changing the fuel pump on these, but I really don't want to do it. Alright, well, I'm not going to film me pulling on this the whole time because it's going to take a few pulls, and I don't want y'all to laugh at me while I'm doing this, so. Alright, after about 20 gazillion pulls on this, as you can see right there, gas is in the fuel filter now, and it's starting to fill down in the fuel lines. You can see some gas, some bubbles inside that line. So we're getting gas into the carburetor, so we're going in the right direction. As I catch my breath from pulling on this for a while. So, well, I guess what's next is pull on this thing and see if she's going to fire. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of the starting fluid to spray in there just to see if she's going to bark off or not. Hopefully. Whew. Well, how about that? She fired up. Man, look at all the garbage coming out of that shroud in there too. So, well, that's good news. Kinds of critter dust inside here. Whew. All right. Quick blow that off a little bit. I don't need that down in the carburetor, right? In fact, smart money is going to be, let me put a rag over that carburetor and kind of blow those fins out a little bit. Wow. All right, let's try that again now. Let's try that again. I knew she had smoked a little bit, but that's okay. Whew. A little smoky out here, that's for sure. And of course it's starting to sprinkle out here, and I'm working on it a little bit, but hey, that's okay. But it does run. Let's see if we can keep it running. Let's see. Come on, Bessie. Okay. I wish the pull rope was a little bit longer on this. Well, we had two things that's happened here after I couldn't get it started. Well, number one, I flooded the dang thing. So let it sit here for a while, and I figured I took and I degreased and cleaned this all out while I was waiting. And number two, I broke the pull rope on it. So I had said this pull rope was too short anyway, so what I ended up doing is I took the starter recoil and rope off the 79 over here and threw on here. So now she's all cleaned up. It's been sitting. Let's see if we can get this thing started up now so she'll run. And she stalls. Well, she fires up and runs right now, but it acts like it's not getting gas. So I wonder if our fuel pump here is causing some issues. I'm gonna go try a trick real quick here and see if this will help. Sometimes if you put a little air in your gas tank, it will pressurize that tank and it will push fuel through your lines. Try it again. We may end up putting a fuel pump on this yet, I don't know. Let's try hitting it with a little bit of starting fluid here. See if she rolls off. Yep, we're not getting gas. So, looks more likely this fuel pump's not going to work out on this guy. I had a feeling that was going to happen. So, well, I got a new fuel pump in the shop, so I'm going to go ahead and try swapping this out and see if that takes care of our problem. You see the fuel pump is this guy right here, so I'm not even going to take and cut this and bolt it out. I'll just get another one and lay in there and see if it's going to draw fuel or not. I got the new fuel pump sitting on there. I just took and set it on top of the other one right now. So let's try starting this up and see if we're going to pump fuel now. Come on, baby. Finally. I'm adjusting that idle screw on it right now for your air jet. She don't run too bad for an old relic now, does she? Not bad at all. Yeah, how about that? She don't run too bad now, does he? So this is a close-up here. This is just your standard Tycon polyurethane fuel line. This is a line that you run to your fuel filter, your carburetor, to your fuel pump. And as you can see on there, no negative effects and cold sub-zero temperature. That's why you gotta have this kind of fuel line for snowmobiles. And as well, this is the submersible fuel line that I get from Helix Racing products that go inside the tank. And as you can see, it's quite thick inside there, and this stuff is, you know, it's really stiff to work with, but this stuff definitely lasts a lot longer inside your fuel tank. See, this is this regular standard 1/4 inch inside diameter fuel line, and I can actually, I've got another piece here for another snowmobile that I can use in a gas tank. But you definitely need this inside your tank. If you take and put this stuff in, like I said, you'll be changing it again the next season you get your snowmobile out. Well, this was not too bad getting up, getting running now, was it? You know, between taking 2 carburetors and putting one together and swapping the fuel pump, new lines, and kind of just basically your standard maintenance you do on these 2-cycle engines. This old 1981 John Deere Trailfire 340, she doesn't run too bad. So, but I'm gonna get this guy all cleaned up, and I might get a different windshield, new windshield put on him. But yeah, she's gonna be for sale. So yeah, I'm quite pleased how this turned out. So hey, if you're all stopping by here for the first time checking this channel out, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you very much. We got a playlist of all kinds of different videos. Like I say, we normally do old farm tractors and what runs on lawn and garden tractors, but yeah, sometimes it's nice to get into something different here. I used to work on snowmobiles back in the day, and sometimes it's nice to work on some of this older stuff again, providing you can get parts for them. So but hey, if you're really enjoying this kind of content, please do me a favor and leave a like, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. And we got more cool videos coming forward to you all out there on all kinds of different projects we got, and neat things to get up and get running again. As well, we got some restoration projects we need to get finished up and start some of them too. So till next time, we'll see you later. Take care.